Alright, so I just rearranged the top 25 superhero movies for me. Like I said, there's a lot more cheating in this one, with multiple titles being included in the same exact position as a continuity um, instead of breaking it down further. Um, so here we go. In 25th is going to be um, James Gunn's Brightburn. Um, though I don't include it here with the case being present, I am going to include, with the Christopher Reeve continuity, the most recent James Gunn Superman movie, but I didn't bring up the case for it, so when I talk about Superman movies, it'll include James Gunn's Superman and Superman Returns, as well as the Christopher Reeve continuity. But my least favorite of the best is Brightburn, because it leaves you wanting more, and there isn't any more yet. In 24th place is going to be Wonder Woman, and we'll go ahead and talk about both of them. But primarily the first one is the one that I have in the best position. This one would be in 26th place, all things considered. But for Wonder Woman 2017, set in World War One, the final boss fight is the only part that kind of holds it back, because it's kind of anticlimactic, because you feel like this general guy is going to be the big bad, and then they reveal that it's actually the guy that played Professor Lupin in Harry Potter as Ares, and it's like, really? That's where you're going with this? They should have had it be, I think his name was like General Ludendorff or something like that. He should have been revealed as Ares, because that's the direction they were trying to make you feel was the case the entire time. Uh, so, yeah. In 23rd place is the Suicide Squad. This is the one with Peacemaker, and I forget Idris Elba's character's name. Bloodsport, I think. Where the two of them kind of do the same thing. They're both like really good marksmen. One uses a smaller bullet than the other is like, no, you gotta go big with the bullets, dude. And he's like, nah, smaller's better, my guy. But that being said, it is in the best 25 of all time for me. So there you go. I did not, however, include the Peacemaker show that spun out of this, just because I haven't seen the entire first season yet. Once I see the entire first season, I might include it in a future top 25, like a top 25 part 2 type thing. But as it stands, it's not included here because I haven't seen all of it yet. Let's see. 23rd. So 22nd place, we have Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. It's the better of the two Justice League Dark stories that they've made into animated features. They do a lot of stuff really well here that they did better than the previous Justice League War story. Because they did do Justice League War before, but it wasn't Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. The war was here on Earth, mostly, or in their Earth. And on this, it's quite a bit of it is done on Apocalypse. So that's 22nd place. Like 25, 4, 3, 2. Yeah. 21st place is Logan. I feel a little bit bad having this so low. And as bad as I feel having this in 21st place, I'm completely omitting Deadpool 1 and 2 from this, when I could have done a trilogy for that one, but then as a trilogy it wouldn't have been in its placement wouldn't hold up with where it is. So we'll see. We'll see if I include the first two in another video like this. I am trying to fit my rankings into 30 titles or less these days, because I just get lost trying to remember where I am with longer ones. Which means when I go to rank my entire collection, there's easily going to be over 100 videos for that. Easily. Because I have over 7,400 titles. Talking about that many, 30 at a time, gonna take a while. 20th place is Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. I thought it was masterfully done. I didn't like where Folie à Deux went, with it being so music heavy. It had like 25 songs when it should have maybe only had 3 or 4, maybe 5 at the absolute most. So it overstayed its singing by 20 songs, solely because Lady Gaga was one of the main characters. I feel like if they had cast anybody else as Harley Quinn, they maybe would have had 5 songs only, if even that. And it would have just been like in the background, like for Guardians of the Galaxy, and not like the actual characters singing. In 19th place, which I'm surprised by, is Batman 89. To my knowledge, this is the only live-action Batman movie, or movie that has the Joker in it, where they kill the Joker. Joker falls to his death in the end of this movie, which I think is pretty cool. I like the twist where Joker killed Batman's parents, and then when Joker asks Bruce Wayne, ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight, he explains how he likes to ask that of all his victims. And then I think a little bit later in the movie, you have a flashback to Thomas and Martha Wayne being killed, where the killer says afterwards, "Hey kid, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?" And Batman's like, "Oh crap, Joker killed my parents. Ooh, now I have an actual personal reason to fight this guy." Yeah, let's see, that's, I think, 25, 4, 3, 2, 1, 20, 19. In 18th place is Batman Returns. It builds on what I liked in Batman 89, with Michael Keaton in the title role as Batman. Michelle Pfeiffer does very well as Catwoman, and she is Selina Kyle. And Danny DeVito did really well as the Penguin. When I think of Penguin, I think of someone shorter like Danny DeVito playing that role. Penguin seemed a little too tall in Gotham. And then Christopher Walken did also a very good performance here. The music in both Batman 89 and Batman Returns are really good. The only movie from that continuity that I haven't included in these two videos is, or that I don't include, is Batman Forever. Although that is also a really good Batman movie. Moving on, in 18th place, we have the Spawn trilogy. It says all 3 seasons of Spawn, but it's a trilogy of movies. It's not episodic like a TV show. They are movies. Calling them seasons doesn't feel right, but a good trilogy as a single entry in 18th place here. In 17th place, we have Venom 3. I like this one least of the 3 Venom movies with Tom Hardy, but that's not really saying a whole lot because it is still really good. It's in my top 25 of all time, so it's gotta be good. 16th place is a twofer with the first 2 Venom movies with Venom and Let There Be Carnage. My biggest pet peeve with Let There Be Carnage is they kill Carnage off instead of using him again. But maybe that could be his ticket into the MCU eventually when Tom Holland gets Venomized. We'll see. In 15th place, we have Avengers Infinity War, which for a long time had one of my brothers wanting to sue Marvel Studios because they killed a lot of his favorite characters. Thanos. In 14th place, we have Endgame, which undid all those deaths and ended up defeating the big bad of the Infinity Saga. And out of curiosity, in the comment section down below, let me know whether you count Spider-Man Far From Home as an Infinity Saga or a Multiverse Saga title. Just put IS for Infinity Saga or MS for Multiverse Saga in the comment section below or down below this video. And because it came out when the Infinity Saga was ending with Endgame. Far From Home came out right when they were culminating things. But yeah. So let's see. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. In 12th place, we have Thor Ragnarok, which is the third Marvel movie, or third Thor movie that I've talked about today. The only one being omitted from either of these lists is the original. And I think it has a really good mix of humor with seriousness, and so it's got the tone correct. Love and Thunder is just way too goofy. This one has just the right mix of humor with a more serious tone. I believe that was 13th place. Let's see. 25, 4, 2, 20, 8, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. In 11th place, we have both Red movies. These are both in the DC universe, but they aren't superhero stories, but they're both really good movies. If for some reason you haven't seen either of these, definitely check out both of them in order. Watch the first and then the second. Both great movies. Okay. 10th place is all 3 Dark Knight movies, the Dark Knight trilogy as a whole in 10th. All 3 of these movies are done really well. They wanted the Joker to be the main bad guy of all 3, where it's like, oh, we'll set him up and tease him at the end of Batman Begins, which they do with the Joker card. Then we'll have him show up in the Dark Knight and cause mayhem and whatnot. and then we'll have him be ultimately defeated in Dark Knight Rises. Heath Ledger died before they could do having Joker be defeated in The Dark Knight Rises. So rather than recast, they pivoted to Bane, which Tom Hardy as Bane was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the more comic book accurate portrayal or costume design for Batman and Robin per se, but it is a very good portrayal. Just didn't look like Bane to me. In ninth place, we have the entire series for The Flash. And I like the entire series. It had a few dry episodes here and there in every season, but the series as a whole, I'm showing season 1 here, is really good. In 8th place, we have Supergirl. I've seen 5 out of the 6 seasons, and they're all really good. I need to finish season 5. Actually, I've seen the first half of season 5. But again, the whole show is really good. I wouldn't change anything of it. Other than I would keep her in this style of costume for the duration of the series. Because in seasons 5 and 6, she has like a pantsuit type thing that looks more like Clark, or like Clark's super suit, than it does Supergirl, because Supergirl's supposed to wear a skirt and a top. I like how the top incorporates her thumbs into the sleeve, because that's always a nice feature. But it puts it at 8th. In 7th, we have the Snyder Cut of Justice League. We had the theatrical cut in the worst of the bunch, and the Snyder Cut in the best of the bunch. That tells you all you need to know about the Snyder Cut. Great, great movie. It is 242 minutes long, so it is very long. Just over 4 hours. I would love to see a part 2 that is 5 hours long, but I'm probably in the minority there with that. In, I think, 6th place we're at now. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah. In 6th place, we have Loki seasons 1 and 2. I only have the first season in my collection already, but even the box art on this for the Steelbook is amazing, and it has some really cool pictures inside that it came with. I'll show you what I mean. For concept art type thing. So I thought that was a very cool inclusion for them to have. WandaVision did the same thing. We'll get to that in just a second. It's actually in 5th place here. And I'm actually going to rearrange these a little bit more. But WandaVision, probably my favorite of the live action Marvel shows in recent years, with Loki seasons 1 and 2 also in that category. Again, this has stills from the show, or concept art for it, right here, here, and here. Yeah. I love when they include concept art for shows like this, and sometimes stills from like actual episodes in this show. It gives you a little more to enjoy. In 4th place, we're going to put the Ben 10 collection. As of the time of shooting this video, I have not finished Omniverse, but I'm really close to finishing it, and I like it a lot more than I thought I would, because it has a different look for Ben than you have in Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, which I think are the definitive versions of Ben, um, from a 15 and 16-year-old's perspective. He looks a little too young in Omniverse to be 16, but and then of course they nail Ben 10 Classic with it being really good, and no complaints there. But Omniverse is interesting because it has some 11-year-old Ben material as well as 16-year-old Ben, and it even shows from times when he was like 5.5, and a few brief moments from when he's 10. In third place, we have the above mentioned Superman continuities here with the Christopher Reeve 5-movie collection. I say 5-movie collection, but it's Superman 2 theatrical and Richard Donner cut. And we're considering all 3 versions of this movie as well, the original. And we're also factoring in Superman Returns and James Gunn's Superman, which I think should have been called Superman Legacy, but just calling it Superman is fine too. All 7 of those movies are in third place for me, which tells you all you need to know about my Superman likes. Our runner-up is No Way Home. I still very much thoroughly enjoy what they gave us with No Way Home. I think it is definitely a great movie. Yeah. But beating out No Way Home in first place here is not Across the Spider-Verse. It is Deadpool and Wolverine. And this has the fewest F words of the 4 movies linked with this movie, being Logan and the first 2 Deadpools. This one only has 20 F-bombs, where just Deadpool 1 and 2 combined had about 200. So there you go. That is almost it for this ranking. 2 honorable mentions that I wanted to include, but would have ended up pushing it to 27 titles are Justice League / Justice League Unlimited. Great animated DC properties right there, as well as Smallville. Smallville is a goated Clark Kent story. It's not a Superman story. It's a Clark Kent story because he never actually dons the Superman suit until like the last 5 minutes of the series finale. But it did have a season 11 that was comic book only. I feel like they should have made it, or they should have had season 11 be the final season instead of 10, where he's Superman the majority of the season. But that being said, it is still a great Clark Kent story where they really develop the character a lot and show you the progression of him getting his powers in the definitive way. If they were to ever redo Smallville, they would have to be very, very careful not to damage the legacy of this particular show. And I would hope that they would do their own thing and maybe do it a little bit faster, where he becomes Superman sooner, so he has more Superman screen time than he did in this. But they would have to be very, very careful, because Smallville is a great series, and you have to do it right. So yeah, that is my top 25 with 2 honorable mentions. Superhero movies of all time. Again, not including the 2 Incredibles movies, because those would obviously be in the top 25 as well if I had cases for both. But if I ever do this based on discs, I'll include The Incredibles in a future top 25 ranking. But I tried to limit this particular one to Marvel and DC properties, with a few exceptions, like I pointed out, with Spawn and Brightburn and Disaster, whatever. Those ones are neither Marvel nor DC, but made the cut for my list here. I also didn't talk about any of the Hellboy movies. All 4 of them that I've seen are good. They just didn't crack the code for the top 25. They would have been in top 30. All of them would have been in the top 30. So there you go. But that is it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As well as don't forget to let me know whether you would count Far From Home as Infinity Saga with IM or IS, or Multiverse Saga with MS. And I'll be curious to see your thoughts on that. Personally, with the time that it came out, the Infinity Saga had not started yet, but it kind of teased the idea of a multiverse with Mysterio, but they did that to make you kind of trust Mysterio at first, and then it was like, oh yeah, I'm a total dirtbag. I'm not a bag. I'm from your continuity, not another universe. And so they played it as kind of like, it's not really a multiverse, but it's like, hey, there is a multiverse out there type thing. But it wasn't actually a multiversal film. But a lot of the movies in the Multiverse Saga don't deal with the multiverse at all. So even some of the shows don't deal with the multiverse. They deal with Endgame. So there you go. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.